What's up guys, Cast back with a new video today. So the next 3 episodes of Andor have dropped, so episode 4 to 5 and 6. So yeah, we are just going to talk about them and give you my thoughts on these episodes. So yeah, I think this week for me, I did quite enjoy these episodes, to be honest. I think they were definitely a little bit weaker though compared to last week's 3 episodes, the first 3 episodes, but I still enjoyed them though, to be honest. But yeah, we still got a lot of thoughts that I've got to talk about. But yeah, basically it was a few different sort of plot lines going on in these 3 episodes. We had like an imperial ball going on. We had Cassian going to Gorman and being sort of overprotective over Bix as well. And we do see Bix does get a revenge on the Doctor at the very end in the last episode. So yeah, that was quite interesting. We get the return of Saw Gerrera as well, and his guerrilla fighters that serve with him, which is pretty cool. We get the return of Director Krennic as well at the Imperial Ball. And then we also get a recasting for a Major Star Wars character, which I did hear about. There was a recasting, just because I don't think the original actor, could make it back in time to film. So they didn't really have a choice. I mean, that's just how things go sometimes with films and TV shows. If there's scheduling conflicts that you can't really do anything about, it is what it is. But yeah, and that was obviously, spoiler alert, Bail Organa, who we obviously know is normally played by Jimmy Smits in the original prequel films and in Rogue One. And we did see him in Obi-Wan as well. But yeah, we got to see Benjamin Bratt take on the role this time, which is pretty cool. We only see him briefly, but I think we're about to see a lot more of him in the next week, I reckon. Because it does seem like we're going to get a little bit more of him. So it'd be interesting to see his portrayal of Bail Organa. And we'll see where that goes. But yeah, I mean, I quite like the casting, to be honest. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it, basically. But yeah, overall, that is pretty much the major storylines we've really got in these 3 episodes, to be honest. I want to talk about Saw Gerrera. I love Saw Gerrera as a character. It was cool having him back. Seeing Will have his little story, and then they try to teach one of the other rebel guerrillas how to work on this Rhydonium device, I think it was. But yeah, it was interesting seeing that. It turns out he was an Imperial spy, so Saw Gerrera ended up killing him. So yeah, that was quite a reveal. But yeah, seeing Saw Gerrera and that was so cool. But they were actually on the planet Dakar, which we've seen in The Last Jedi and Force Awakens and that from the sequel trilogy. So it's cool that they're giving some sequel trilogy love in this, which is really cool. I know everyone didn't really like the sequel trilogy, but I'm glad we're seeing planets like Dakar in the original trilogy sort of era, sort of timeline. It's pretty cool seeing it in a different era. But yeah, I'm quite happy. I was so surprised when we saw that. But yeah, we also get Cassian and Biggs. Obviously, Biggs is having the nightmares and PTSD still. But in the end, she gets her revenge. So that was pretty good seeing that. Seeing that Doctor get what he deserved. But yeah, I did find it funny that they did that right at the end. But yeah, that was an interesting one. And then obviously we do see Cassian earlier on get to go to Gorman as well, pretending to be like a fashion designer basically, which is pretty funny. So he gets like this really cool like stylist like outfit, and he meets like these so-called like revolutionaries or rebels on the planet. So yeah, because Luthen wants to obviously use Gorman as like a new front line against the Empire. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And then they obviously do send Vel and Cinta to Gorman to pull off the heist to stop the transport. But yeah, it kind of goes the wrong way because basically Cinta gets killed by friendly fire by accident, which isn't great. So they all have to get out of there as soon as possible. So R.I.P. man. I like that character, especially the actress Farada Sefu, I think it is. She's currently in Doctor Who. I quite like her in Doctor Who, to be honest. But yeah, R.I.P. man. But yeah, that happened as well. So yeah, that was an interesting scene. But yeah, and then obviously one of the big things was obviously we got the Imperial Ball, which was interesting. We see the return of Director Krennic and that, and Luthen and that join the ball as well. And they need to try and get rid of this like listening device, which is Clea tries to remove. Basically, quite an intense scene trying to remove it basically. But yeah, I mean overall, I mean that's pretty much it for all I've got, to be honest. Like, the only other thing I would say is it was cool getting the reference to the Gorman massacre from Legends. So if you don't know about Legends, so in the Gorman massacre in the Legends version, they basically canonized that to the canon now. So basically where like Grand Moff Tarkin, we get the reference by the people in this of Gorman, basically say that that Grand Moff Tarkin tried to land on Gorman, and the people were protesting, and he just landed on these people and killed all these people basically, which wasn't great. So, but it does feel like they've now canonized that. So whatever's going to happen on Gorman, there's going to be some sort of other massacre, and we know that will cause obviously Mon Mothma to leave the Senate, because obviously we get that reference in Star Wars Rebels. But yeah, I mean, seeing like that was really cool. So that reference with Tarkin, that was pretty cool. Will we see Tarkin show up in this? Like, I know they did the whole CGI thing in Rogue One, didn't they? I doubt it, but yeah, who knows? They built that memorial on the square on Gorman for that event, so pretty cool reference that. But yeah, other than that, seeing the relationship between Cyril and Dedra was interesting. Them working together was really cool as well. Secretly working for the ISB and that. But yeah, that was pretty cool, seeing that sort of relationship, which is a sort of weird relationship still, because yeah, they're together basically. But yeah, I mean, I got not much else to say about that. But yeah, overall, these 3 episodes, I think they were pretty solid. I don't think they were as good as the first 3 episodes, but that's just me. You guys probably got a different opinion, but I still quite enjoy these episodes. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I've got for this video. So if you enjoyed this episode for Andor, like review basically, then leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel, and also leave your thoughts down below. I'd like to hear them. But yeah, guys, I will see you guys in the next one.